Okay, I am live. All right. Let me see. Yep, there I am. I showed up now. Turn the sound off there. So yeah, this is a surprise. A surprise little pop-up. Just because I got a box in the mail. Now I knew I had bought something from Pamela Blanchard's sale. Okay, so I knew I bought these icicles that I've been hunting for years. I have some very old ones, and they are supposed to glow in the dark, and my old ones just don't do that very well anymore. So the box showed up, but the box is big. Oh, I have to move the tape. So some of you that have gotten things from me, you're gonna see this tape. It's novelty tape, and it does say "shut up." It's not meant to be an insult to you. It's just that this tape is so old, it's lost some of its stickiness. So it's perfect for putting around the bubble wrap so that you can peel it off the bubble wrap. But I had that sitting here and it makes the box too high. So I don't know. There's another box in here. I did slice it open, but I didn't go through it. See, I think this is my icicles. I really do. I think this. Come on, come on. Yes, I'm one of those that saves all the, especially now with selling on eBay. And of course, that little bugger of fly that was in my live sale, everybody kept saying there's something flying over your head. It never flew in front of me until after the sale. That little sucker's mocking me. It is now sitting on the camera, on the edge of the phone. Rotten little thing. Okay, so I'm doing a live. So let me see if I can. I don't care what kind of tape you have. No tape ever comes off of tissue paper. Get away from the camera. I don't know where that little bugger came in from. He needs to go. But I will save all this tissue. I don't save the tape. Get off my thumb. Get off my thumb. So, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Oh, now these are a little different. Let me open it up and show you what they are. One of the attic videos, I don't remember if it's one or two. I think it's in the first one I did. Come out. It's such tiny points, I can't get hold of it. So you saw those, and they're actually like two pieces that are like this, so it makes this cross piece, and they're a little thicker. And this, the bag says made in Taiwan. These are a lot thinner. These are a lot thinner, but they're the same length. They're the same kind of thing. They're plastic, and they have the little tiny plastic hook. So I think they will be pretty darn cool to have, and actually have newer ones that will glow. I mean, because the ones I have are like from the 40s, and that's so cool. I'm so happy to have these again. And this time have ones that'll glow. That'll be awesome. That will be awesome. But I don't know. I mean, there's a box in here. And I honestly don't remember getting anything else that night. Put that aside. We'll save that. Oh, that's kind of cool. You don't see much Christmas stuff that's in black. Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. That's a Bible verse. Rejoice in the peace and comfort of this glorious season. That's actually my second Christmas card, because in the mail today also came a Christmas card from a friend. So some people get them out early. I swear Ken just like has them all done and just waits for November 1st, for December 1st to mail everything. Come on, ribbon. The ribbon doesn't want to cooperate. See, I got this nice pretty little thing all wrapped up, looking so festive, and it's so sweet. Our family's so spread out that Christmas is kind of lost its... Christmas is no fun when it's an adult because you don't get stuff. Though I had a giant box show up today too, which there's no way that's fitting in this video because it's huge. And some of the crowd from the children's theater group that we all had training in, there's some of us from the 80s that get together now. And they've done a group of us have done a Secret Santa. And you put, there's this online one, and you put suggestions in. Now I picked small stuff out, but half jokingly, I put in that I needed a roll of bubble wrap. Well, I don't know who my Secret Santa is, but there's a giant roll of bubble wrap sitting out in my hallway in a massive Amazon box. So I was there's no note with it, so I'm assuming that I will get a note later. There's no way I'm saving the tissue here for this. This I'll have to trim it up. But what is... Oh! You know, I forgot about this. I can get into this. Oh, she has really taped this on there. Where's a corner for it to fit? Oh, it's not going to feel. All right. Well, where's the scissors then? I'll just have to trim it. So I have this neat little creamer and sugar thing that were hand painted. They're from maybe the late 40s, early 50s, but they're white and they have the holly. And you don't see too much of that. Now this is not super old. It's made in China. It's a newer kind of picture, a newer kind of piece. But while this one has a bit of a cream background, it really does match the pattern of this creamer and sugar. Hi, Sandy. So I had forgotten all about this. It looks like it's made of resin. Certainly feels like it. But I'd forgotten all about it. Oh, that's perfect. So now I have the creamer and sugar, and I have this because I've not seen anything like it. You can find white stuff with a holly printed on it or painted, but this is raised up. This is all dimensional. And that's what I've been looking for a long time, and I rarely ever have seen it. Sometimes when I do, it's an old piece and it's been in an antique shop and it's been more than I could swing. But that's really cool. I had forgotten all about that one. Oh, I'm so happy. So that's really awesome. So I have my little... I have a picture frame. I can't get back in the box. Isn't it pretty? And it goes with this creamer and sugar that I have that is from like the late 40s, and you just don't find the raised up holly very often. You can find the white stuff with it painted on or printed on, and it's all flat, but these are all dimensional pieces. Even the piece from the 40s, they're dimensional. So That's great. I love it. I love it. I hadn't planned on going live, but I was like, why not? It's a neat little unboxing. So that was my little thing. So I'm just working now. I'm just working on invoices from last night, the few invoices that I still have to get done. I do have to run to the post office soon because it's almost 2 and they close at 4. These days, you can be sure you're going to stand in line for a little bit. I did find something cool that I don't think I showed anybody before. You like ephemera? Look at this. There we go. This is the cradle roll certificate of my mother's. Look at all the graphics on that. That's awesome. 1933, October 1st. The beginners, they used to call them cradle rolls. And the cradle rolls were usually the little kids that were in the nursery and working their way up into a Sunday school. So a cradle roll promotion certificate. Alda Ann having reached the required age, is promoted from the cradle roll department, which basically was the church nursery, to the beginners department at Emmanuel Lutheran School. This is 1933. She was born in 1929. So basically she's finally going into Sunday school. And I thought that was a neat little thing. I love the little bird. The bird's just so cute. So every once in a while I find something just tucked in a drawer where I least suspect it. And there'll be some little piece of paper that was mixed in with some patterns. I don't know why, but it was. Never know where she had stuff hidden. Even after all these years, I'm still finding surprises. You just never know. You never know. So Sandy, you're packing from your live sale? Yeah, I'm packing from mine too. And still dealing with a few invoices. And I had that wonderful Northwood plate, that big piece of glass. I thought I had a box all set, but then I had learned a new way of shipping some glass is to take pool noodles and cut them open so that they can fit over the edge. Well, I'm doing that with that piece, and now it's made it too big for the box. But I really want to make sure it gets there okay. So I have to email her today and let her know that this is what the delay is there, is that now I don't have a box that it fits in. But I'm working on that. I have a room full of boxes, and it's completely in total disarray because we had a window pane fall out on the 3rd floor of the arched windows, and we didn't know it. And there had been a vine all up and over that. And so raccoon mommy and her little ones got in there. And we found out when I came downstairs to go to work, flipped the kitchen light on and saw this thing move and realized that's not a cat. It was down on the 1st floor eating the cat food. And it was the mom. So she didn't have them up there, but she had them hiding up there. So yes, oh my raccoons. So I had 3 little ones and mommy in my packing room. I tore that packing room apart to get rid of anything that they did anything to. They so much as chewed it, or worse. You can figure it out. I got rid of it. I just got rid of it all. So now it's just, there's boxes instead of being stacked up and in each other, they're just everywhere. So it looks like a total wreck up there. So I've got to get that more organized, but I've been focusing so much on clearing out for live sales and working that I haven't done a huge amount up there. But that'll come because I still have to get that window fixed. Right now it has a board over it, and I don't want to leave it that way for the winter. So, but there's the other problem is it is the 3rd floor of a house that has 9-foot ceilings. There's not enough whiskey on the planet to get me on a ladder that high. So I might have to see who I can talk into going up there and putting that pane of glass back in. I think we still have the pane of glass. I don't know. When we tore the vines down, it might have shifted. I'll have to look around and see if it's still out there. Because some of that is the 1911 glass, so it's got that really cool little waviness to it, which is cool. That's where the windows at the front of the house I have not replaced because they are all that old nice wavy glass that has a different look to it, and that's what faces the street, so I don't mind. Everything else we put in new, but I've still got to call. They're supposed to have a lifetime guarantee, but there's 2 in here. One over there, it never stays shut. It won't lock right. So the top eventually keeps sliding down. So they need to send their subcontractors out and fix it because it wasn't put in correctly. And the other one that the same gentleman came in, they put this one in crooked. So there's a gap. I have to cover it with plastic every winter because there's a gap in the top corner. And every time I call, I get a different subcontractor who says they'll show up and then they don't. They need to just deal with this. They need to honor that contract and stop being fussy. So old glass is nice in windows. Now, old glass too, like the Fenton and Northwood and all that. I don't know much about that. So I did have someone, I had more than one person well, one just flat out complained, but the others were nice about it. That I am selling my stuff too cheaply, and that I didn't know what I was doing, because why would I sell a Northwood piece of glass when I could have gotten so much more on eBay for that? And then so I explained to each one of them that it was a choice. I didn't pay very much for that Northwood piece. So I'm quite happy with what I got for it. And the person who got it is thrilled. I made money. They're happy because normally it goes outpriced on them, and they may not be able to get it. And when I looked up comps for it at the time, the pieces weren't as high, but with the holidays coming, the prices had gone up on eBay for that particular piece of glass. But I'm happy. And if I'm happy, what's the problem? Yeah, I need a new heater, but yeah, it's none of their business where I choose to sell. And it wasn't so much of, it's that they were just so frustrated that I wasn't being financially responsible. Well, there's being financially responsible, yes, and I am being, and you don't know where the money goes. And trust me, the price that I got for one piece of glass isn't really going to make a massive difference on that heater fund. So, it's fun. I was expecting blowback about, the pile behind me, and I haven't gotten any of that. But to have somebody have a fit about my prices being way too low and you should get somebody to appraise them before you put them up, that would cost more money. That would kind of be counterintuitive. So it was an interesting feedback to get. That was not one I was expecting. So, hi, Patrick. And yes, I mean, the price you choose to sell it at is up to you. So, yeah, I am doing the right thing for me. After all, yes, I've got so much stuff, and I price it for the things that you can find comps for. I have a theory here that I've been following, is that, if it's not something that's going to fetch me way above a certain amount, then, and that Northwood piece might have, but I wanted there to be something real good gem, especially for my first live sale. And I'd like to try to have those little gems throughout, because there's got to be something. I'm not like everybody else who you see who goes out and is buying stuff. I bought a lot for a while there because I had fractured my hand. So I couldn't list and I couldn't do too much. So I was doing a lot of shopping. So there is a fair bit here from Goodwill and from other thrift stores. And there's videos I've got to edit about some of that. But at the same time, there's still going through this stuff. If I sell it however I choose to sell it, that's up to me. I'm just really surprised though that that was what I got the blowback on was the prices. But my theory of prices is if I do see it online, especially for anything that's under $15, I'm saving money by not necessarily having big fees. So if I pass that on by starting at $1 or $2 lower than what I'm seeing it online, I'm okay with that. I'm not having a sale today. I just did this as I got a box from that I had bought something from Miss Pamela Blanchard from her live sale. And so I was doing an unboxing. And I was so happy to get these. And I couldn't imagine why the box was so heavy. I'd completely forgotten that I found this old frame from her. But I'd gotten she had a bag of these. Now these aren't as old as the original ones that I have, but these will glow in the dark. So you'll have to watch. There might be a live sale on a Wednesday. I'm waiting for an email back to know if it's going to be next Wednesday. It's going to be a ton of work to get everything set that fast. But it'll either be this Wednesday or the following one because a slot has opened up, and I'm working with Angela and Katie about who would go first if they're going to do their live that they're doing, or I would do it in the early afternoon. I definitely am still having a next sale would be next Thursday night is definitely going to happen. Those are going to be, they don't start until 11 o'clock at night Eastern time. Yeah, what something is worth is just what they're willing to pay. That's something I don't think a lot of audience necessarily understands. I know how many of you have seen it at yard sales that they have the printout from an eBay listing, not a sold, but a listing. And they'll have that printout sitting with the piece on the table at a yard sale or at a flea market. That drives me nuts. At least look up sold comps, for heaven's sakes, what it's really worth, because it's only worth what somebody's going to pay for it. That's a good point, Patrick. It's that day with that audience. And yeah, I don't have the big audience. And because I have such a variety of stuff, I don't necessarily have all the higher end pieces. That Northwood piece was a one-off as far as I'm concerned, because it was something I bought simply because it was just gorgeous. And I figured, well, I'm going to save this from the Goodwill and see about finding it a new home. But for me, it's about moving all this stuff along, and clearing that out. So I have a different area that I'm coming from than ones like Patrick or Misty or Jeffrey or half a dozen others that have to go outside of their house to go source stuff. My source is already here, but it's not necessarily stuff I picked out. So it's a little bit different for me. Yeah, see, I always price them a little below the eBay comps if I find them. I haven't sold 100%, but that's okay. That's okay. So Jeffrey, go away. Jeffrey, go away. My laptop's in front of me, and I keep getting these pop-ups saying that, somebody's hearted this, or he's answered this question, or he's commented on this, and they just last three of them happen to be Jeffrey. Go away. But yeah, it's working out though. My plan had not been to try to do a YouTube video for another year. 2020 just accelerated that. So I feel like I wasn't quite ready to jump in, but I think I'm doing okay. We'll see. I've got 2 live sales done now, and that seemed to have worked out very well. The hardest part of that was finding a slot. So let's see what's in the chat. Yeah, comparing a million customer site like eBay to a 20-person yard sale. It is kind of funny. I started seeing that first at library book sales, where they would have a thing from abebooks.com, which is a clearinghouse for booksellers that were vintage books. And it's still now unfortunately Amazon bought them, so I don't know how that's going to work, but it's a great clearinghouse. Some of them are people like us that sell vintage porcelain and vintage things. These are people that have book collections that they're selling out, or they're book dealers and they no longer have a brick and mortar store. Some of them do. And they clear. It gives them a place to put just books, just old books. And it's great. abebooks.com. I've bought stuff from them for years, finding stuff that I find hard to find, like the books that are Gilbert and Sullivan opera related. But they're a good warehouse for book prices, and the library sales were having printouts of what people were asking for that. And of course, you might see 3 or 4 sellers having the same thing, but not often. But you would see, but you can't look up comps on ABE books. You're only seeing what they want to get for it. And I would see it at the library sales first. And now it's kind of, with eBay, it's kind of blown out to eBay being in yard sales. You don't get enough people at your yard sale, Sandy? Yeah, I don't get hardly anybody at mine. Mine is, the problem with me is that the city I'm in is as old, if not a little older than Philadelphia, which I'm real close to, but it's a distressed city. When the Philadelphia Navy Yard closed down originally, there were a lot of jobs that got lost here. There's a lot of manufacturing jobs that got lost here, like so many other mid-sized cities. And it's got its challenges, but I'm on the third of the city that's cut off from most of it by the highway. And so my area is not a problem, but it's got such a reputation that everybody's just, oh, we can't come in there. We can't come to there. Even on Facebook Marketplace, I have challenges selling there because the people who have come to my house to pick something up aren't from the area. They aren't from the immediate county. And they've driven all the way here to get something that I really didn't want to have to try to ship, like furniture. So I have that same problem, as I can't do yard sales anymore. So I usually would try to do flea markets, but there aren't too many big ones around here. And when it's all small stuff like this, it's hard because they are 50 to 80 bucks a shot for a spot. And when all your stuff is small like this, that's a challenge to try to get your $50 back right away and then make a profit. So what do you have here, Patrick? You dug into your vintage side hustle. Yeah, a lot of people are worried about getting laid off, and I don't blame them. I think that's why you've seen the resellers on YouTube kind of explode, that there's so many. Oh, your YouTube sales. It's hard. It is definitely hard to. I think right now we're kind of in a weird position because I noticed that my online sales, um, the week before the election just stopped. And I saw a lot of YouTubers talk that have eBay stores talk about the same thing. Everything just kind of paused. And now people are starting to look for Christmas, but they're being very careful of what they're getting because they don't know if their area is going to be shut down again. I'm considered an essential worker because I work in a convenience store. But at the same time, if I get this thing a second time, because they're pretty sure that in March I had it. Back in March, though, there still were a lot of false positive or false negative tests out there that we're having problems with. And the hospital flat out told me that they knew they had a batch of faulty tests, but it was the only thing they had. And then I had all the fun symptoms. It's not fun. And since I'm overweight and congestive heart failure runs in the family with the women, and I have a heart problem, and I still have fatigue problems from having it in March, that if I got it a second time, it would probably be worse. And I got off really, really lucky the first time. So, oh, Sandy, yeah. Yeah, and see, I was out on medical leave when this all hit at the beginning of the year because I had gotten a small hernia at work, and the workman's coverage ended the very end of January, and they just didn't schedule me back, but they wouldn't lay me off either, so I didn't have any unemployment. So that made things challenging. But then I got sick in March, so it was just as well that I was off. But I didn't go back until middle to end of April. And now I'm only 5-hour shifts, 3, maybe 4 times a week. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. And they've taken me off third shift, which I'm kind of glad about because now I'm not having to lift heavy totes and stuff doing shipment. But at the same time, it cuts into the day. You spend 5 years being third shift. You have a routine. And yeah, Patrick, I have to get back to work too because it's already after 2:00 here, and I have to get to the post office and get some stuff out of here today. So, but I just thought I'd put a quick one up there and do an unboxing because I honestly didn't remember buying the picture frame too. So I couldn't imagine what was in the box. So Catherine fell. Oh no, you haven't. You haven't, hun, because I'm still working on those. You'll get your invoice as soon as I figure out what the shipping cost will be, Catherine. So that's when you'll get your invoice, probably later today or this evening, because the only thing I have to go out of the house for is to do this post office run. And then I can get all this stuff packed up and get invoices and see what I can do. Oh, they're a good place for collecting price guides. Oh, is that AB eBooks? You know, I never thought of that. I should go there. I should go there and see about price guides. Because there's still a couple, like I'm trying to learn glass a little bit. I'm just not that into glass. And scanning barcodes or books, I see that with people all the time. I do see that all the time, where they're scanning for books. And most of the books I have aren't contemporary books because that book collection was huge and it was a lot of vintage ones, but there's not much of that left because I've spent 4 years selling off books. But it's always paid the taxes. Dandelion, you have an awesome find from a yard sale? Well, congratulations. It's always nice when you can find something really cool. So, all right. Well, you guys all have a good day. I'm going to go now and go hot-footed out of here and get to the post office and get this box of stuff out of here because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to put that in a box. 5, 6, 7. I've got 8. 8 to send out of here, which is awesome. More stuff out, more room. I felt bad last night that I had to figure out how to show that tablecloth off when I have no room to step back from the camera. So I had draped it. So, but it's getting there. There's getting to be a little more space this way, and this is awesome. So you guys all take care. Be blessed, be safe, and have an awesome day. Bye.